The southern tip of Manhattan Island is a busy place, filled with people in a hurry, shoppers and bankers and brokers and millions of other modern pilgrims seeking their fortunes in the glass and steel towers. But if you cross the East River to the Brooklyn side, you will see nestled down by the pilings of the mighty Brooklyn Bridge, a little barge tied up to the pier. A little barge that sits low on the water, looking out across the river at those towers of glass and steel. This little barge is Olga Bloom's dream.
Hello.
This is Olga. Made
Welcome.
this all possible.
Welcome home. Come on
Hello,
down.
Allison.
Hold on.
Every Thursday and Saturday, people board Olga Bloom's barge. Musicians and lovers of music. Olga Bloom welcomes them all.
Hello, hello. Hi.
Soon, with the barge still tied to the dock, they will embark on a voyage in the company of Beethoven and Schubert and Grieg. Olga Bloom likes to think of her floating concert hall as an island of peace and beauty in a hectic and noisy world.
I've been looking across the river at Manhattan for a long time now, and increasingly it looks to me like an altar. It's an altar of man's aspiration, and I'm particularly touched when men come to me from Wall Street after a day's work. God knows what responsibilities they have assumed in those banks all day long. The thought of it is horrific. And when they come to be healed with a Beethoven string quartet, I'm grateful to God. I think it's marvelous. What a balance. It seems to me perfect. So we have a sanctuary of all, for all here.
It was Olga Bloom's lifelong dream to create such a sanctuary. She knew firsthand how rare such places are. She was a violinist herself. Her husband, Tobias, had played the violin in Toscanini's NBC Symphony Orchestra. And then one day, she discovered a rusting old coffee barge in New Jersey. She mortgaged her house, bought the barge for $10,000, and went to work.
My husband died, and it was about the best thing I could have done. I moved on to the barge and just went at it fanatically. Of course, I was desperately in need of money, you know, so I'd be out here chipping away at the steel deck and getting the rust up for paint. And people, longshoremen, people along the waterfront would come along. It was the Tom Sawyer story. No matter what I started to do, they'd come along to help. I fished a plank out of the river to carve our sign, and of course, everyone took it away from me and finished the job for me.
That's really nice, isn't it?
It's marvelous. It's marvelous.
Of course, there have been some rough seas along the way. The day we were at the barge, Olga was engaged in a spirited tussle with the city about who would fix the rotting pier.
Actually, I think it's all attached to the fence itself.
Yeah, but the fence has to come out. Because
Yeah,
the
but it
fence is-
unbolts.
The fence is in the back door.
Honey, it unbolts right there. But I have to pay for any repairs. Something tells me it's going to be astronomical. But I've had help from the waterfront before. You'd be amazed at the people that come out of the woodwork all over the waterfront and come and help. They do. They always have. It'll work out.
And it always has worked out. For 10 years now, twice a week, 52 weeks a year, more than 1,000 concerts.
love playing here because, first of all, audience is very close, and you see like lady in the first row closing her eyes and going like this, and I mean, it's just very special.
Eriko Sato and her husband David Wee have a long, fond acquaintance with the barge.
I sometimes do look out. I don't actually look, but I feel that what I'm seeing. I'm not actually looking at it, but there's an impact there somehow. And it can affect me because my style is pretty physical, and I get tired. When I'm very, very tired, sometimes I look out, and it refreshes me.
Alice Fordyce has been coming to Olga Bloom's barge for years.
Well, but I'm the least musical person you could possibly imagine. I can't carry a tune, and I don't really have any musical background at all. But I love this place and being here and what Olga's doing. And I confess it's spoiled me for big concert halls and other kinds of programs.
They just come to say hello?
Police came to say hello.
Sonia Wieder-Atherson lives in Paris. She's won prizes in international competitions all over the world. But she had never before played in a place quite like the Barge.
Oh, I love that place. It's the first time I see it since I'm not from New York. And I feel it's so warm, and it makes that things come out of us that is not so often that we can let ourselves go, play like that. New York moves while you play. That big town that sounds so solid, suddenly it all moves because the boat moves, but you have the impression that the town is
Moving.
Yeah, moving and gonna go under the water while you play Schubert's trio.
When you are here at a concert in this the place that's here because of you, and that you really brought about, and you're listening to the music, and it's great music, and it's everything that you had.
It's unbearably beautiful.
Yes, I want
It's
to ask you
unbearably
that
beautiful.
experience for you.
I always cry. I'm always moved to tears. And I'm profoundly grateful. The eerie thing that I wanted to say is when I really was resolved to go all out, it's like a reverse on Mephisto. I didn't make a pact with the devil, I made a pact with God. And anything I needed always came to me when I did need it. My greatest concern is for the longevity of the concept. Not only for this one in particular, but I do believe that our nation could use a great scattering of small beauties throughout the nation.
The city is busy, bright, and beautiful, a monument to the human mind. But here across the river is another beauty. Franz Schubert's music on Olga Bloom's Dream, a song to the human soul.